Alright, continue on with my Empire of the Sun Excursione. And I had to pick this card. I had a big emphasis on anything that had paratroopers on it. This is a card that ERASMUS has picked. Now, activation. South Seas headquarters. We activated the South Seas, or the South headquarters. South Seas is over here. And, what are we doing here? Prior to movement, place a Japanese control marker in the hex that is within range of an active Japanese air unit. So if we zoom on in, I made this one over here the active. We got plans for him, so he'll be active within his range, which is his extended range. It'll probably be a 5. It is an extended range of 5, regular range 3. So with this extended range, he will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I dropped a control marker there as per the card, and we eliminated a Dutch unit. All right, he's non-replaceable. That's what that dot there means, that a yellow dot. But that takes us up to there. Let's read the card. Prior to movement, place a Japanese control marker in a hex that is within extended range of an active Japanese air unit. 1. The hex either is unoccupied or is occupied solely by a Dutch regiment, and the second one applied. And 2, the hex is not within an unneutralized Allied zone of influence. Eliminate the Dutch unit. Now there is a Australian. What is that? Just a fighter jet, our air unit, and he projects a 1-2 hex, 1-2 hex zone of influence. So when we took off from here, we had to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our paratrop to go in undetected. So that is that. Put our headquarters back here. Oop. So there you go. Oh, shit. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, then. Also, compliments for our little freebie event card with our paradrop. You can see here we increased our resources to 1 and our required capitulation hex for Burma. Or, what is that? Yeah, Sumatra? Okay, Sumatra. So there you go. And also we increased the resource markers, Japanese resources, from 3 to 4 accordingly. Benefits of the event card. We'll be back. Okay, then that takes care of our event on our Central Force Conquest of Borneo card. Now with this card, it has a logistics value of 5. And headquarters we activated is 1. So we will have a 6 activations total. Alright. Now, I took 1 off for that air unit. But I don't know if he takes up a hex within an extended range of an active Japanese air unit. So he's activated. That might have dropped it down to 1, but we get 6 total units to activate. Now, we've gone through old ERASMUS, the ERASMUS bot. We've come up with this so far. The axis of determination in the opening phase will be aggressive air superiority. And aggressive air superiority goals are: number 1, neutralize Allied headquarters, Dutch East Indies capitulation, and Malayan capitulation. So that's the order that we got them in. Now there's even sub-orders underneath this. So underneath neutralize the Allies headquarters, you'll go over here, and Allied headquarters neutralize list in order. Number 1, they went old Rasmus, what's it go after the Philippines. Alright. Then Singapore, then the ABDA headquarters unit that we did place per our card. And like I said earlier, headquarters are scarce down here, and this one here might be a short timer. So we definitely need a headquarters. He's got a short range of 5, so that was a good spot, I think, to put that headquarters at. As a matter of fact, they'll be seeking it out, it looks like. Alright, then the goal then will be to establish aggressive air superiority by neutralizing Allied headquarters in the Philippines, then Singapore, and finally the ABDA headquarters in Kendare. Alright. First card, Erasmus Flex, is card 59, played as an event. Logistics value is 5. One from the headquarters is 6 activations total. Alright, now first battle hex, I believe, is going to be Manila. Manila slash, what is that? Oh, Corregidor? And there's where that is. So, we got it all set to go. Comes down here to the old Erasmus spot. And, where are we at here? Sorry, I should have had this ready to go. Alright, task force composition. At this point, we will have a strategy and an objective, usually with a list of targets and a card that Erasmus is going to play. Assuming an offensive is being declared, then the next up is to determine the units that will be used in the offensive and apply them to capture the predetermined targets as specified in the axis of determination chart. There you go. So we find this task force composition sheet, and we'll start it together. All right, now this first thing here, there's some stuff in here that, you know, you could be up here. I was here all morning yesterday in between chores, but I did a lot of it. I was on here literally from the morning till the sun went down on this Erasmus spot. Oh my God. Oh, I bet you can go on Board Geek and just be on there all day with what the interpretations of these things are. We're not going to get that into it. We got a general good idea. We're just going to use this to help me, or to be more of an AI player. You know, whether it's perfect, whether I'm doing it perfect, probably not. But we'll see what's up with it now. And it says here start, and you tell me what you interpret this as. And here's a 1. Maybe I'll get it if we all do it together. But the 1 note says, create a force per this chart for each target determined by the axis of determination chart. So you want to create a force that will neutralize the headquarters, but the only thing is we only got 6 units to activate. So how am I going to create a force for each one? I mean, so we're just going on with the force we got going on here. There you go. If offensive, and they only got a certain amount of area to put words in here, so you kind of got to interpret. If op card offensive and 1 battle hex has already been designated, only consider unoccupied targets. Then 2 card combinations that puts more ground, air, and naval closer to the next highest priority target. Yeah, whatever. I have no idea what that means. And then here's another thing too, though. Where is that? There's 2 card combinations. I mean, I guess I'm going to have to go on Board Game Beep or something to figure this out. But if you run into a situation where you cannot attack a target in the objective legally, this gives you a chance to do it illegally, I guess. Then you can consider making a 2-card play where you hold the strategy the same for 2 cards. Hold the strategy the same for 2 cards. The first card is used to reposition forces. To set up the second card to make a legal attack on the highest priority target in the list. Yeah, I have no idea what that's all about. I've been looking at it for a while. Oh, Mark Herman games. Alright, what we got here? We're down here. So we got our task. We got to figure out what our task force composition is going to be. We'll start with A. Is this an air naval attack on a target? Alright. What do you mean? Is it an air naval attack on a target? I'm not understanding that. We are supposed to neutralize the Allied headquarters. So I need ground units to do that. So we will say on this one, no. Go down here to B. Is a target in a coastal or island hex? Yes. So we go down here to C. Can you capture the target with an overland advance? Not sure what that means, but no, we can't attack them overland. So we will go down here to no, just D. Is the target unoccupied? No. H. Can the enemy air or carrier units react to this target. There is really no reaction, so I'm going to say no. We'll go over here, and it says finally do an invasion with naval support, and that's definitely what we need to do. So we got 6 units we need to activate. I'm going to look around here and find out what's up. We're definitely going to have to do us an amphibious assault. So we'll definitely have to use one of our amphibious assault points, or amphibious shipping points rather. Amphibious shipping points for an amphibious assault. We have to find out what unit qualifies and all that good stuff. But target Manila. When I come back, my 6 units activated. All right, reading more about this number 1 here. And I guess if it don't apply, it don't apply. That's one thing about Mark Herman. He said, when you get to a card, it just don't make no sense. Just don't use it. I mean, it just don't make no sense. Only if it applies. So, create a force per this chart for each target determined by the axis determination chart. So that would be Philippines, Singapore, and ADBA headquarters. All right, it's fine. We'll need 3 forces for each total then. Okay, whatever. If the OC offensive, op card offensive, well, number 1, this is not an op card offensive, this is an event offensive, so skip that, that don't apply. Has already been designated, only consider unoccupied targets. Well, each one of these targets is occupied, so that won't happen. So, we got the old good incense burner going down here. Oh, it's nice. Definitely nice. That's why you see my hippie lighter. Oh, what we got going on here now? Next, 1 battle hex has already been designated. Only consider unoccupied targets. Well, that ain't gonna happen. Then 2 combination that puts more ground, air, and naval closer to the highest priority. And that's not gonna happen either. So we're just skipping this. It don't apply. We are gonna look into this 2 card combination deal again, though. I might be able to figure it out. Once I read it, I was kind of like, well, I could maybe see that, because we have in some of his other games, like Washington's War, I think he could use 2 card dealies on that. There's certain criteria, but they don't really get into it here. And I'm not seeing too much else in the rules about it, so we're just gonna glide on over that one. Still got to get my units for a big offensive. Now another thing is, I've determined through my, superior generalship that we really built Manila up. There was another situation with the ERASMUS bot that I was doing earlier off camera yesterday, where they gave up on this hex because it was just too much of a nut to crack, and he says, man, skip it, go on to the next one, to Singapore. But right now, that was a flawed ERASMUS bot flow yesterday. I corrected it. And the key is right here. Is this an air naval attack on a target? For some reason, I said yes, because the only way you can get there is through air and naval. But think about it again. You can get there with ground units, and we do need to take that hex. The problem we came into with my previous offensives was that they were just raids to where you softened up the units. Now these units here earlier, in my only card play as the allied player, we softened these guys up pretty good, but we couldn't take the land. We couldn't take the objectives because we had no land units. So if you watch the video, you'll see that basic military doctrine, you need ground units. So the answer to A is not yes, it is no. It is not just an air naval. Now, if we were playing an event that specifically restricted the units to air and naval, yes. But and the only reason we were using this card is because Erasmus, one of my priorities, they really wanted that paratrooper drop. It told me to give priority to that paratrooper drop. Other than that, there are other cards that would have probably made a little bit more sense, but we're going according to what the Erasmus priorities are. We'll let him take control. Let the old automatic bot. When we come back, task force composition. All right, I'll take a moment here before we do any movements to talk about supply. And the main thing is from the main islands, or Tokyo for the Japanese, down here to the port, so we can go out of a port on through here. Now we do have a little bit of a restriction threat with this unit here, with these 2 hexes, zones of influence. We could still squeeze on through, but more importantly, this unit here, his zone of influence negates that. So he might have units flying around. We're on them. So there you go on that one. That's how that works. So far, Japanese units are all in supply, but you got to watch that big time with those zones of influence from those aircraft, and that's part of the Allied strategy. Be back. A little word on strategy here. Let me zoom in and tell you what I mean. Well, first let me take you over here. Zones of influence. A zone of influence that is unneutralized impacts several game features. Ground units conducting amphibious assaults may not enter or exit a zone of influence. And here you go. And me, as the Allied player, definitely made some good moves in putting these aircraft here. So we got a bunch of no-nos here. And the thing of it is, his zone of influence covers any amphibious approach that I want to take on Manila. So that knocks out anything. Now, the only way I might be able to neutralize it is if I move a carrier off of one of these hexes. And his ZOI will neutralize these aircraft ZOIs, allowing me to bring in an amphibious assault. Problem is, no aircraft carriers within range of this headquarters unit. Note to self, keep aircraft carriers close by. Where's all my aircraft carriers? They're all the way over here. I think that's all. I must have a bunch of them there. Nope. Where are they? Here's one. 2. Is that all the aircraft? Oh, they do have more. I see more over here. Hold on a second. So I got 2 over here in Wake, and then we got a bunch of them up here in Japan. There's 1, 2, yeah, 3. Shoot, all just out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Can't get to them. And the thing of it is, I have to activate this unit, this headquarters here, because this unit here has to be activated to take care of my event, my paradrop. And that unit there will count towards my activation, so I only have 5 activations remaining. Oops, there you go. There you go. Oh, what a conundrum. I think Manila is going to be off the table. I think what we're going to have to do is take advantage of these air units, zones of influence. 1, 2. Although we can't enter that one. I'm thinking about maybe just getting a foothold in this turn and then, going on down the rest of the way. But we got to get land units on the Philippines. Be back. Okay, this will be my forces and support units. They're all going to have to be naval units. And I do have 1 unit there that has a nice range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can use all 20 of his factors. But there you go. It's going to have to be naval units. Could use some of these air units, but they'd have to use their extended range and therefore attack with half their attack factors. So I'm getting more bang for my buck with the naval units. It'll just pull right into Manila Bay. With how much damage we do, we'll see. We cannot bring any infantry units on because we cannot conduct an amphibious assault with these air units with their ZOIs. So another thing is, if I had a I do have a unit that could have rode on these ships and went on in there, but they're not within range of my headquarters, so that's what we got to do. That is the activation, or rather, that is my task force composition. We'll be back for the next phase. We'll move into, I guess, battle position for Manila. Alright, we're in the offensive sequence, and the offensive player has moved, and there is our battle hex. We have 1 support unit flying in from Cameron in Vietnam. We get on with it. I want to look and see about these reaction players, what the reaction will be. We'll have the final totals in the hex, or final attack and defender factors. We'll be right back. Alright, well, the thing of it is, the default is a surprise attack. But if the event card doesn't specifically say surprise attack, I can attempt me a reaction die roll, and that's what we're about to do right here. But like it says, the intelligence situation surprise attack, there are no reactions moves, so I won't be able to bring no units in if I fail this die roll. But the only reason I can do this die roll is it is a default surprise attack, but unless it says surprise on the card, I could change it. So we're going to attempt to change that right now. All right. Key game mechanic. So take note. Unless this card specifically says surprise, I get to make a chance to intercept this little invasion that that the bot has initiated. Oh, now the thing of it is, my die roll, and it says here, then roll a die. Then it says if the die roll is equal to or less than a number on the card, then the die roll is successful. Equal to or less. So if the bot would have used this for its ops card value, we would have had to roll a 5 or less. We got the big old boy because he's using it for an event value, so I guess there's more units involved, easier to detect. Excuse me. And we got to roll a 7 or less. So there you go. Now hold on a second. If the die roll is equal to or less the appropriate marker, then the die roll is successful. The intelligent condition is offensive intercept. Die roll 2 is equal to or less. All right, now down here, there's one way in which the intelligent die roll may be modified. If at any time during the movement of any offensive player's units, those units move through or exit an opposing unit's air ZOI, which it did, the reaction player subtracts 2 from the intelligence die roll. So that makes it harder for me to get it. Oh no, it makes it easier. Yeah, 7 or we gotta get the number or less. So yeah. So the presence of my air units right here and here, and there was an air unit here too, seen them coming in and gave them an early warning detection. So we were -2 on the die roll, and we were trying to make the wrong die. Who would be rolling then here? -2 on the die roll. We need a 7 or less to detect them. Yeah. Or to intercept, so it would be an allied roll. -2, 7 or less for us to intercept. We get a 5, -2 is a 3. We definitely intercept. So there you go. This is killer. Die roll 9, all this. The die roll is greater than spin of the roll is not successful and intelligence fails. Alright, successful and the intelligence condition for the offensive is intercept. Alright, we'll be back. Find out what we do next. Alright, as the allied player, I get to activate a headquarters. And then activate units to intercept. That'll definitely be, I'll be throwing my air units in there. And maybe, if I can, a ground unit. I don't know how we'll really do that. But first I have to get me a good headquarters unit. And over here for the allies, that's hard to come by. Where are these? Is this the headquarters here? Nope. And no. Ouch! Where's the headquarters for the allies? Whoop. War Gaming 4-Pa. Shoot. Guess here? And that's why I said their headquarters are few and far between. Manila? Can I use the headquarters? I guess it's under siege? Huh. And then we have our 80BA. So let me see what's going on with this. Activating requirements for headquarters. Because here's our 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then which units do we activate to intercept, and how many can we activate? All those answers when we come back. Alright, answers to the questions. The reaction headquarters may only activate units that are in supply and have an activation path from the headquarters. The activation activation path for the reaction can be traced into and through a declared battle hex, and even if it contains enemy units. So therefore, the activated headquarters, I do believe, is going to be this one right here, the Southwest Pacific in Manila. So we'll activate him. Now the number of units that can be activated, well, the answer to that question is, we'll be right back. The reaction player may activate the number of units equal to the headquarters efficiency, which I believe is 2. We'll have to look and see. Let me look here real quick. 2. Alright. Plus the number of defenders' logistical value. So he's got a logistical value of 5. We get to activate 7 units. There's all kinds of help that can be on the way. So bad news for ERASMUS. And we'll be back.